Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Liz and this is Let's Get Lizical, where we do everything card making. Look at my beautiful stash. This just got filled up today. I did film next Tuesday's haul video and then put everything in here. So you'll see a lot of the stuff that's in that bin on Tuesday, but I decided to do another use it or lose it video, and I'm using this Hero Art stamp set. I can't remember what it's called right now, but I'll link it down below if it's still available. And I bought this set with the intention of using it with the Mama Elephant fairies. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this one. I don't love it. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I feel like I want to do my own mushroom set as well. So maybe that'll happen one of these days. Maybe in the fall. We'll see. But yeah, so I just had envisioned this, fairy garden kind of thing. And that's what I'm executing today. And right now I'm just going to do it as like a one layer card, kind of. Again, all of the artwork is done on one layer, but I do prop up a panel on the card base, which makes it not one layer, but the card itself is one layer. Like you could do this, well, I would do it one layer and then glue it to a card base like that, because the alcohol ink bleeds through the paper. If you're gonna color this with like pencil crayons or something that doesn't bleed through the paper, you could definitely just color directly onto the card base. This year I want to color a little bit more with my pencil crayons as well, so maybe we'll try that in a future video, just actually do a one layer card. To me, this is a one layer card though, just because, again, everything is done one layer. Originally I was going to stamp and cut them out and put them on the card after, but I decided, again, I was lazy. My cutting machine probably hasn't been used in a hot minute because A, I have stuff stacked on the cutting mat in front of it. There's like a protective sheet over it, but then I still have stuff stacked on top of that. I'm trying to organize, but I also have so much crap in this craft room right now, and I need to very, very much organize this year. That will also be one of my goals. I also want to declutter. I will probably be getting rid of a bunch of stamp sets at some point. Where do you guys buy your used stamp sets if you buy them? Like Facebook Marketplace? Is there a group that you specifically use on Facebook? Would you prefer to do it through Etsy? Let me know. I'm all ears. I have an Etsy shop, but I don't know if I'm going to keep it. We'll see. I don't even honestly know what products are in my shop right now because I did revamp it last year a bit so that all of my cut files weren't being auto generated every 3 or 4 months or whatever it is, because it was just like spending money on products that weren't selling. So I kind of narrowed it down to, I think, like my box cards, my envelope cut files, which those are the ones that do the best. And then it might just be those, or might be a few that'll die down in a few months, but I will have to look into that. I should just move everything to my website because I pay for that monthly anyway, so I might as well put as much of my product onto one site as possible. So we'll try to work on that as well throughout the year. Hopefully sooner than later. I'd like to have everything again. Maybe I'll just shut down my Etsy shop. We'll see. I need to come up with some kind of plan. But anyway, so yeah, I'm coloring the card using various alcohol markers, and I wish I kind of maybe moved up the sentiment a little bit. Like I should have stamped all this and then put the sentiment after, but I just ended up stamping everything at one time. It floats a little bit too high for me, but I end up adding this drop shadow to everything just to give it a little bit more dimension, make it look a little less flat, and almost give the illusion that it's another dimension with the drop shadow. So I'm going to put it on all of the images, including the sentiment, and then I'm going to restamp these like I always do. These ones in particular, just because I didn't stamp it perfectly the first time, which again, I don't really care about when I'm coloring because I am going to restamp it after. Once in a while I do forget, but most of the time, I would say 99% of the time I do it. It just like really helps bring those black lines back, and just like helps the image stand out more, because again, even with Copic friendly alcohol marker, whatever type of inks you're using, it does bleed out the color a little bit, which is fine for some people. It's not fine for me. It definitely does add that extra little like push it needs if you're restamping it. So make sure you have some kind of stamp positioning tool where you don't need to try to do it afterwards. It's just like in the same spot all the time. So something like the Misty, there's a few other, like the Altenew stamp wheel, whatever. There's like a whole bunch of them out there, but it's definitely much easier to stamp with one of these tools. And then I ended up cutting the panel with these nested like deckled edge dies. These ones I usually use if I'm doing like pirate themed cards or want something a little bit more rustic, just because of the edges on it are very like jagged. I know there's newer ones out where it's like a little more subtle decal edge, but I like this one. I bought these actually off of Wish a long time ago. And like I said, I just use them sometimes when I want to add a little extra to my card. And I decided that I didn't want to prop like this white panel on another white card just because this was too much white for me. Which, surprise, right? Because you guys know I like my white space on my card. And don't be afraid of it. We're going to do a video on it later this year at some point. But this time, because it was like so sparse, I decided that I was going to put on a purple card base, kind of brought out the purple that I used in the flowers. And then I didn't like the stark white against the purple, so I'm just using my marine ink, which is my lightest blue Simon Says Positively Saturated ink. And I just kind of like lightly went over the edges a little bit just to give it that little vignette and help it, you know, give it a little bit more dimension again. Like we're adding dimension without having to add dimension today, kind of. I am going to add foam tape to the back of this panel, but that's just because I want it propped up. I do like my foam tape. I am running low though, so I will need to buy some more soon. But this is the one from Michaels, so at least I can like grab it locally. I do miss my Big Mama foam tape. But with the exchange rate and shipping and everything, I think I'm just gonna like suck it up and use this one from Michaels. It's a little bit thicker, and if I do want to add a little bit of dimension, I have a bunch of like cardstock that I'm not loving that I could just use on the back of the panel. It creates a heavier card a little bit, but it would be okay if I just wanted to, you know, add 2 like strips or something on the back. Same as I did with the foam tape, but with cardstock instead. So I'll just do that going forward. And then I'm just cutting a panel out of my Michaels 65-pound Recollections cardstock. This one's not bright white or anything, but I do use it on the inside of my cards and on the inside of the envelopes that I usually put my stamp sets into after I have to use them. Because I don't usually save them in their original packaging. I'll save like the header card of the original packaging and set it in with the stamp just so I know where it's from. But otherwise I just put them in those clear envelopes and I back it with the white paper. But that's pretty much our card for today, guys. Thanks again for joining me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe because I'd love to have you here. And until next time, thanks. Bye.